Okay, let me see on my face. Good evening, everyone. I trust your day has been fine. While we wait a little bit for others to join, I think we will play one of the videos we have here. Okay, let me share my screen. This.
Charcoal is one of the oldest fuel sources in existence. Our ancient ancestors likely discovered the benefits of cooking with charcoal soon after they learned how to control fire more than 1 million years ago. And millions of people around the world still use it on a daily basis to cook their food. However, studies have identified charcoal production as one of the main drivers of deforestation and forest degradation in Nigeria. The traditional methods of making charcoal lead to high carbon emissions and are a waste of wood resources, which is decimating ecosystems across the African continent. 6,000 years ago, charcoal was the preferred fuel for smelting copper. After the invention of the blast furnace around 14,000 AD, charcoal was used extensively around the world for iron smelting. By the 18th century, forest depletion led to a preference for coke, which is a coal-based form of charcoal, as an alternative fuel. Nigeria lost nearly half of its forest area between 2007 and 2017, according to the World Bank's Little Green Data Book. In 2017, the staggering deforestation forced environmental policy makers to recommend a de facto ban on charcoal export by ceasing to issue the permits required to produce charcoal for export legally. But the following year, with these policies still in place, all the country's imports of Nigerian charcoal grew by 34%, according to Comtrade, the United Nations Export and Import Database. Nigeria is currently ranked second in global charcoal production and first in Africa, earning up to $73.2 million from exports yearly, while Brazil takes the lead with 6.3 million tons. But according to a 2017 study, forest degradation alone is responsible for 2.1 billion tons of carbon dioxide emissions each year. This is a major danger on Africans.
I've always been a fan of waste to wealth from early years. I believe nothing should be wasted. I've tried my hands on several waste to wealth projects, turning the waste into something usable.
To help avert this danger of deforestation and air pollution in our communities as a result of charcoal production, a young Nigerian has summoned upon himself to research and bring into reality the production of briquettes by using sawdust and rice husk, popularly known as rice chaff, which he believes is another wonderful means of turning waste into treasures.
My name is Ayodele Ajibola, a graduate of Mechanical Engineering in University of Ilorin. I'm the CEO of La Paria Premium Energy Limited, where we produce briquette charcoals from agricultural waste.
Ayodele Ajibola, a graduate of Mechanical Engineering, University of Ilorin, an indigene of Ekiti State, says if you can recycle it, why waste it?
This is our raw materials needed for charcoal briquettes. It's rice husk generated from the milling of rice. This waste is so abundant in Nigeria. From data, it shows that Nigeria generates 1 million tons of it every year. So why waste it when it can be turned into usable energy?
He's the executive director, La Paria Premium Energy Limited, the brain behind the innovation of briquettes.
This is the briquette that was molded from the briquetting machine. So after that, we load it into these baskets and we put it into the furnace and we burn it for between 6 to 8 hours, and it produces the briquette charcoals.
To reduce high dependence on biomass as a source of energy is to promote the use of briquette at homes and by the industries. Research shows that briquette is smokeless and provides higher temperature more quickly than coal and wood.
Compared to the normal wood charcoal, briquette charcoal burns longer. You take 1 kg and burn, you will get up to 3 hours burning just 1 kg. It has a very high calorific value in that the heat is much more hotter than normal charcoal. And furthermore, it's smokeless. The normal charcoal emits some smoke, which are hazardous to the health. But briquette charcoal, it's smokeless, doesn't emit any smoke, no odor, and also no sparks.
The households who could not afford the gas or grid connection could use briquettes made from rice husk as an alternative heat source.
It cooks faster, it lasts more than the normal charcoal, it does excellent job. I will always recommend it.
I want to testify to La Para Briquette charcoal. It burns longer, it's hotter, smokeless, sparkless. I don't need much quantity to make my meals.
Briquetting is considered for its economic reliability and ease of operation. Briquettes is therefore here to save Africa of deforestation and air pollution, as it will drastically reduce the cutting of trees for fuel, which will result in desertification in the future. To help these young Nigerian individuals, private organizations, federal and state ministries of environment and forestry should tap into these great innovation and put an end to deforestation as we all come together to turn in trash to treasure.
All right, good evening from everywhere in the world that you are hearing me and viewing me. I'm so glad we have you here today. And what we are here to discuss is turning waste into wealth. Okay, I'll be showing you my slide. Okay, let me share it. I hope you can hear me. Can anybody just signify if they can hear me, please?
Yes, we can hear you.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, I can hear you, sir.
Okay, good. So I'll be sharing my screen. So my name is Engineer Ayodele Ajibola, a graduate of Mechanical Engineering, University of Ilorin. I'm into statistics of waste to wealth, which I believe so many of us here are. People don't lack opportunities, but they lack awareness. So which is what I have brought to us tonight. That's turning waste into wealth with briquette charcoal. Okay, so I was once like you. Have you ever thought of turning, or maybe you have seen sawdust, you have seen rice husk, agricultural waste like coconut and the rest like that, and you feel it is useless? Well, tonight's session might just flip your mind and look at the possibilities in turning all this agricultural waste to a useful energy. So please stay with me. Stay with me, and I'll lead you through. All right, so I was just like you. I wasn't born into where they are producing briquette or something like that, or probably my parents, were into the production. So it was just on a fateful day, and a friend posted something on Facebook. Of course, the guy brings a lot of ideas, which I ignore. But when I saw this, that you can turn sawdust into charcoal, it's just grabbed my attention that, look, I see sawdust everywhere. If you go to the sawmills, they usually pack those sawdust and go and throw into the river. Because I'm aware of that. So I was like, so this can be made into something useful. And that activated me, and was looking for started making a lot of research, reading, watching videos, trials and errors, a lot of things like that. But now I have a factory, real income. I've also mentored people, few people anyway, to be able to do the same thing. So why briquette charcoal? Someone says that why not just use ordinary charcoal instead of briquette charcoal? Now, briquette is a form of energy, is a form of clean cooking energy. For instance, just the briquette, the briquette wood, something like this. Can we see this? Oh, it's not. Okay, something like this. This is a briquette wood formed from sawdust. Now you can use this just as normal wood. And I tell you the difference between this and the normal wood. When you are using normal wood, we put fire on it, you will see that the smoke will be, let me use the language, peppering your eyes. All right. But when you use this briquette wood, just as the smoke coming out of it does not affect you at all. You see some visible smoke, but it does not affect the eyes. So it is a much more clean cooking energy than firewood or the normal charcoal. Now, this also the briquette will last longer than the normal charcoal. Even also the charcoal, the briquette charcoal lasts longer. Please, can you mute your mic? If please, everybody, can you mute your mic? Thank you. So briquette is a clean alternative to firewood, the briquette wood, and it's sustainable and is a scalable business. Now, if you look at, there are tons of rice husk. Yearly, Nigeria generates about 1.1 million tons of rice husk, which is a waste. If you look at sawdust, yearly, Nigeria generates about 1.8 million tons. These things are being wasted, whereas it can be turned into useful energy. If you look at coconut shell, Nigeria generates about 40 million tons yearly. Not talking of other agricultural wastes. So all these things can be used turned to briquette charcoal. And this is a very form of good investment for anyone. It's a serious business. All right, let's go more into it. What do you need to start? Now, I must mention that I don't need a call right now. I must mention that there are two types or two methods of producing the briquette charcoal. All right, because you can use any agricultural waste to do it. Now, the first method that I'm discussing is what you use sawdust and rice. I think I should just leave this. Is where you can use the sawdust and rice husk. It's a different method entirely. Then other agricultural wastes is also another method entirely. So briefly, I'll be touching both of them so that we'll know what we are dealing with. Now, the machines for the first process, whereby you use sawdust and rice husk. The machines you need, number one, you need a sieve, you need a dryer, which is called the airflow dryer or the drum dryer. Then you also need the extruder, or which we call the briquetting machine. Also, we need the carbonizer, which is the carbonization machine. Now, the other process which you can use for every other agricultural waste is where you need a continuous carbonizer, you need a crusher, you need a mixer, you need a dryer. Then this two process you package and you brand. So the simple steps to produce these briquettes, especially from method, I mean from sawdust and rice husk. Method one, what you do, please, can I have a few seconds to address this? Yeah, sorry about that. My kids was interrupting me. Thank you. So method one, where we use, okay, let me discuss where you use other agricultural waste. How do you do it? Some say, I mean, some use charcoal dust, which is very popular to everybody. You know, you use a charcoal dust, you gather a charcoal dust, you mix with a binder, most especially starch, and then you compress, then you dry. And I've had a lot of people complain about is that it's not giving them the right thing. That the most complaint is that it doesn't burn, or it takes a longer time to burn. Well, I can tell you the process to do, and then you get quick burn, you get quick igniting. And the one thing about charcoal dust that a lot of people use, there's something about it that that makes it not too favorable. I mean, charcoal dust. You cannot use charcoal dust alone. If you use charcoal dust alone, you know, before a briquette can burn, or before a charcoal can burn, it needs some air pores inside. So when your materials is too fine, you know, when it's in powder and you compress it, it will not burn. So if you are saying, okay, what do you do if you have a charcoal dust? If you have charcoal dust, then how do you use it? You should mix it with another form of biomass, another form of agricultural waste. So that when you mix it together and you compress it, there will be air pores in it, all right, which will make it burn. So those one of the secrets in using charcoal dust, all right. So you can, with this method, you can also do coconut shell. How do you do coconut shell? You collect your coconut shell, you make sure they are dried, you carbonize. After carbonization, you cool it down, because after carbonization, if you don't cool down, everything will just turn. Once you open it, when oxygen enters, it will blow up, and everything will turn to, this message is being transcribed, okay, and everything will turn to ashes. So when you carbonize, the first thing you cool. So using coconut shell, you carbonize, you cool, then you crush. All right. So, but your crushing must not go to powder. All right. It shouldn't be fine. You don't do fine crushing, because if you do fine crushing, at the end of the day, your charcoal will not burn. It will not even ignite fast. You have to blow before it comes up. All right. And you mix. You after crushing, you mix. And even in the mixing, there's a way, you know, that you mix, that you put your mixing. This, a lot of people have issues with this too. You know, there's a way out, or there's a ratio at which you mix your charcoal and with the starch. Either you are using corn starch or cassava starch, which is very popular. There's a ratio at which you do it. Let me drop this. All right, the ratio at which you will mix it. You mix it in rich. Okay, like if you have 100% of 100 kg of charcoal dust of the dust to mix, or coconuts as you have crushed, you have 100 kg. The amount of starch you put should be between 3 to 5% of the weight of your the carbonized coconut ash that you want to use. You know, you have 100 kgs, you just calculate 3.5. That's between 3 to 5. That's the size of mixing, or that's the size of starch that you will put. Then even in producing that starch, all right, even in producing the starch, there's a ratio of water to starch. All right, there's a ratio of water to starch. So let me dwell much on that. So that's this process, this method too, you can use it for almost any other biomass or agricultural waste. All right. Now, of course, after that, after you compress, you need to dry. You need to dry. It has to be totally dried. for you to get combustion. All right, but this has been an issue with a lot of people, because you have to sun dry and all that. Now, if you want to put this if you want to do this commercially, all right, you will need a continuous carbonation machine, which is very expensive and problematic, I must say, because these are the part of research I made before I settled for the method I've been using. All right, carbonizing machine, you cool, you crush, you mix, you compress, then you dry, then you package. Now, drying most likely you sun dry for like 3 to 5 days before it can be very, very, very dry. But if you are using continuous carbonization, all right, there's a way that you direct the heat from the continuous carbonization machine to your end product to dry the product. All right, but this looks cumbersome anyway, so that's why I was focusing on sawdust and rice husk, because that process is really straightforward. Now, method 2, you can do it manually in a small way, all right, but if you are looking to go commercial, it's really cumbersome. So that's why I stopped, or I focused on method 1, which is for sawdust and rice husk. So I collect my sawdust and rice or rice husk. You can use it as standalone. Either you use sawdust or you use rice husk. You can choose to do that. And let me say the difference between sawdust and rice husk charcoal. Sawdust charcoal has a lower ash content compared to rice husk. All right. So most people and most foreign orders that we get dwells on sawdust because of the ash content. But we are able to sell, of course, the rice husk locally because it's cheaper than the sawdust briquette. So you collect your material, you dry it up. All right, you dry it up, and the drying goes through. I must mention that. All right, even if you see that your rice husk is dried, or sawdust, for instance, let's take sawdust as the case study. When your sawdust is dried, physically it might be dried, but you need to look at the moisture content of the raw material of the sawdust. And to do this, we use a moisture tester, because before it goes for the briquetting machine to do this job well, the moisture of your raw material must be less than 8%. So it is only the airflow dryer or drum dryer that you can use to get your briquette, to get your raw material, which is in this case sawdust, to that percentage before it goes into briquetting. So of course, after briquetting, we load this into, if you look at the picture at my left hand corner, down left hand, you will see the picture of the finished product of sawdust charcoal. Now, after we carbonize, we load into the carbonization machine, either the horizontal carbonization or the vertical. In this case, I do use vertical because it is easier to turn over more products using the vertical hoisting carbonization machine than using the horizontal. So after carbonization, we cool. We need to make sure that the charcoal inside the pot cools down to room temperature before we can open it. We can hear you loud and clear. Okay. So because if you don't have that patience to make sure that the charcoal dries back, cools down to room temperature, the moment you open it, it will blow off. It will turn to flame, and everything will turn to ash. The process of carbonization is where you burn, you burn the material in the absence of little or no oxygen. All right, that is when you get a carbonized material. So you need to have it to cool down, so before oxygen enters, then you package, and it can go to market. All right, so those are the two processes that anyone can use for briquetting. Method 1 for sawdust and rice husk, while method 2 you can use for almost any agricultural waste. So, and method 2 is what you can do manually with your hands, or you want to go commercially, you get the big engines to start it. All right, so I want to briefly also discuss common mistakes to avoid. Number one is buying the wrong machines, because I really spent a lot in this. I really wasted a lot of money in this process. During the time I started, then there was really nobody that gave me any information, rather than I just saw it that sawdust to charcoal is possible. There was no information. All right, nobody that has practicalized that I can go and see, or that is giving me a webinar like this. So there was none like that. So wasted a lot of money. Even the briquetting machine, or thinking that we can build it here. People are trying to build it right now, but I have not seen anyone that has worked. All right, so the briquetting machine, we tried and wasted a lot of money, and of course, the artisans and these crafts people, they will tell you that they can do something. At the end of the day, of course, after we did the design, they will say they can do it, and pay. You continue paying, and so there was no information. And some people also called me after that they bought machine and it's not working. Of course, because the machine we got it from China. A lot of other people you just go and get from China, and these people selling in China, they are just sales agents. They don't tell you the nitty-gritty of the machine. Just want you to buy it. Some went to just buy the briquetting machine, whereas you need more than briquetting machine to do this thing. All right, you need your air free dryer. You need briquetting machine. You need a sieve. You need the carbon. So they won't tell you all this. They just say, buy what you want to buy. So buying the wrong machine is one of the mistakes that a lot of people has done in this area. All right. Also using wet material. Now, this is very, 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 very important. Number one, the briquetting machine can only handle materials which is 8% with 8% moisture. Your moisture must be less than 10%. So at least 8% is okay. Another thing is, if you are bringing in wet material, it's going to take you a longer time to get back the moisture to reduce it to what the machine can handle. Of course, poor packaging and all that, also affects your production. And of course, targeting the wrong market. Now, I must say that when you have your briquettes, the common person on the streets may not buy from you. All right, because the face value will be expensive. But one thing is that once people buy this and they use it, they continue getting it from you, because the face value to normal charcoal is a little bit, there's a gap in between. This is more expensive, but you get the value. You get the value from using. Like someone got this charcoal and they gave me a feedback that, okay, if she tries to cook beans with normal charcoal, she has to refill the pots about 3 times before the beans gets done. But when she got this briquette charcoal and she used it the same quantity that she used at once, when she puts it there, it burns, it cooks the beans. All right, and after that, you still have time to boil some water. So you can say that briquette charcoal lasts longer than the normal charcoal. So other errors will be discussed later. So what happens next now? What do you have to do? Someone was asking me, okay, these machines are expensive. I don't have money to do, and but I want to say, I think the way I responded to that person, I said, look, getting the knowledge is key. Somebody also called me from Kaduna, and then talking about how the machines are expensive. Getting the knowledge is the key. Once you have the knowledge, opportunity might come. Somebody might just say, okay, I have money to do a business. What business can you venture into? You see that opportunity, and then once you know how to do this, you already have the knowledge of how to produce briquette. You can always say, oh, briquette business is good and you know about it. So getting the knowledge is very, very important. Very, very important. You know, anything can happen tomorrow, any opportunity can come. So that is why you need to get this. I believe a lot of, I mean, most of us have gotten the free guide. Well, I just touched little things about briquetting machine. If you want the step-by-step guide, more of what we have said today, then you need to get the full guide, and of course, you get access to mentorship. So I am looking for 20 people, you know, that are serious or that has planned to start briquetting business, which I'll bring into my inner circle to tutor them, guide them through from getting the machine or the whole of the business, how it runs. So the full guide is what you need to do next, and then be able to get this. Now, what you get in the full guide, normally what I do for people, the briquette production manual is 50,000. Access to the mentorship program, which you have access to consultation, access to the right equipment vendors, and access to the support group, because we're going to take you from where you're going to start the business to where you start profiting from the business. And the total is about 220,000. That is what we do normally. But what we are going to do tonight, because of this meeting, fact is that we are looking for people to collaborate in this business. You might have a very big order. Somebody might have a very big order and will be looking for people to collaborate with. You know, at the end of the day, they are nobody. Like, for instance, let me share this. When I started then, and we brought in the machine, there was a problem. All right. After the machine worked for about 5 days, it stopped working. You know, it stopped working. What do I do? And you know, the machine was gotten from China. Before you send back your complaint to China, before they respond back to you, before they go and translate everything, it takes about 3 days. So we were just left with no options to do. I sat down. I began to think, what do we do? What do we do? I began to look for anybody that has done this thing before in Africa. At least I have the strength to go to anywhere in Africa. Even if I can, if traveling abroad will be on the high, I mean, traveling outside of Africa will be on the high side. So I was looking for anywhere, Kenya, Liberia, everywhere. I started checking as far back then, and there was nowhere. Nobody to collaborate, nobody to nobody to talk to about this. You know, spent money to do a lot of things. There was nobody. So that's why if I had had this opportunity, then I don't think I would have wasted a lot of money. I don't think I would have wasted a lot of time, you know, before getting to solving the problem and getting to where we are today. So, but tonight, we have, I'm giving a discount of 77.7%, which will be available for only 48 hours. It means you'll be paying 49,999 to get all this tonight within the next 48 hours. And I cannot mentor everybody. I cannot bring in everybody. So the maximum of 20 people within the next 48 hours. If you want to join this mentorship class, which will discuss in depth, will give you everything you need to know. You have the opportunity to be on call with us anytime you want it, and then we'll guide you through from the beginning of the business to where you begin to become profitable. Okay, so that being said, we're ready to start. This is the link to where you can get where you can purchase your access. And if you look below, you see every successful business you see started with somebody saying it. Today I'm saying this, and I believe that this will make a lot of fruits with all the people that are here. So I'm going to share this link in the group, in the WhatsApp group. We have about 270 people in that WhatsApp group. So I'm going to share this so that if you, and of course, the recording for this meeting will also be on the group in case the people that missed this session, so that they can be up to date. So next 48 hours, I want to see 20 people. And if we have that 20 people in 24 hours, we'll close the access. You know, so we need serious people that, you know, if you have been thinking about this business before, now is the time to act. will give you everything you need. Every information you need to start a business, we'll give it to you. All right. If in fact, as it is, we can even come to your factory and help you in one-on-one. If you want to order your machines, we can give you places to order it. Some of the machines we built ourselves. All right. Like the airflow dryer was built here. The carbonization machine was built here. All right. So all these things we can guide you through and put you through whatever you need to start the briquetting machine. So thank you very much for listening. Now I'm going to entertain some questions. If you have questions, you can just signify and then I'll call you in. Thank you. Okay, I'm seeing a hand.
Hello, sir. Good evening.
Yes, this is Fola Adeyi. All right, please go ahead.
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir.
Thank you.
Yeah, good evening, sir. Good
Thank you.
evening, everyone. Yes, it happened that I work in a sawmill, a very big one for that matter in Lagos here.
Okay.
It's a family business. But you were saying, I've read this the PDF, this thing that you sent on the WhatsApp, is that the wood that we saw them together, whether the hardwood and the softwood. How can one differentiate it? Because I really love this. I didn't even know I was going to see it because I've been searching this online until I came across. Getting the sawdust is not a big deal for me. You understand? But how do we differentiate it? Because we were talking about hardwood that is better and stuff like that. Then the machine, because like you said, your friend fell a victim of one person. I mean, actually talking to somebody online because in my class was searching for the machine, and so they sent me some pictures. But thank God that your messages came on time, so I stopped talking to them after you said somebody fell a victim of what happened.
Yeah.
So those are the things. Then the cost, then the market, this thing. How? Because I will have how is it? Is it in high or is it in high demand and stuff like that? Those are my questions.
Okay.
Availability of sawdust, I have it more than enough. Yes,
okay,
sir.
so thank you very much. These are the access we are giving you in the mentorship class. All right. For instance, where you get the machine, we will give you the trusted vendors that you get the machine from. And even if you want, they can assist you from where taking from where the machine is coming to your doorstep. We have done that several. We can assist. We'll give you that assistance, but you need to come into the mentorship group. Now, the other question of the sawdust. Now, the sawdust that is required, is not there are two sawdust. One wood shavings that you use for poultry, but those tiny ones is what is required. Now, but now getting the right one, of course, with experience, if you take the sawdust, you will know the right one. All right. So which are the part of the things that will actually give you into all right, once you get once you get a manual and you come into the mentorship. So somebody is asking how in dollars you're paying from that. I think in dollars, if you go to that page which I will send to the group, you will see that it is just the cost in dollars is just $35 or less. All right. So when you get to seller.com or where you can order it, just change your currency to whatever currency that you want to use, and you get it there. Can I have Mr. Bamidele Oguntuashe?
Yeah, thank you very much, Engineer Ajibola. Thank you for your magnanimity. God bless you.
Thank you, sir.
Well, number one, what power rating the generator that you're going to use? In Nigeria there's no electricity. We are definitely going to use generators.
Yeah.
So what power rating will be the generator be? Then two, in a nutshell, the sum total of the whole cost, we just a bulk pack. How much does one need to to budget for it.
Okay. So your first question about power requirement. First thing is that I must tell you that using generator for this kind of business will amount into loss. I must be very, very sincere with you. All right, because the power requirement is high. So if you want to use a generator, you'll be looking at a 100 kV generator. Then you look at the cost of fuel of diesel, that we're going to use to power this. It's going to erode all your profit. So when we started, we were at a place and thinking that we will use generator to compensate with the power. The power that we get there is not a band A, it's not a band B. Of course, there were no bands then anyway. So when we started, in fact, we got the generator and was that this we bought this defense, I bought this because I said no, this will destroy the whole of this business, and we'll get at the end of the day you get nothing. And so what we did is we went to, of course, as bad as Nigeria power is, or in any other country, we don't know. I don't really know the culture of country in other countries because I have people from other countries in this webinar. Now there are places that we have band A. There are places that you have band A. So what we did was we have to relocate to another place where we get 18 hours of light. There are places like that. That's why they call it band A. So the cost of paying for band A is really, really cheaper than using a generator with, burning diesel. All right. So definitely just go to a place where you have power. All right. Now the second question about the cost of the machines. All right. Of course, I said you need a saving. The saving, that's if you are doing sawdust and rice course, which is what I'm doing.
To set up the whole.
Yeah. Of course, you need the space.
Yes. Sawdust and rice up.
Yeah. You need a space. Number one. The other thing is that, of course, you need to make sure that where you're getting your raw materials is nearer to your factory and also nearer to where you get good power. Your factory must be situated where you have good power. All right. So there's your raw material. So you need a sieving machine. You need an air fluid dryer. You need the briquette machine. You need the carbonization machine. Okay. So if you sum it up to get 1 unit of each of these, you'll be spending within 15 to 20 million. All right, 15 to 20 million. And then each unit. No, the whole of one unit of all the machines.
Okay, the whole.
Do you understand?
Okay, one unit of all the machines comes. Okay.
Because the machine you bought is equally proportional to the end product, the product that you get at a batch. All right. So all those discussions, of course, when you come into a mentorship class, you get all these things. There will be no hiding of anything from you. We open everything, and you will really understand it. All right. So thank you so much, Mr. Bamidele Oguntuashe. And I have Mr. Wolabi Olusegun.
Thank you so much, sir.
Welcome.
Thank you for sharing your knowledge with us. From the advert, you were talking about access to foreign markets. I don't know if that is also feasible. And again, can you, I know it might be difficult a bit, but I'll be happy if you can share it. What is your turnover and sir? Can you hear me, sir?
Yeah, I missed you, short. I missed you.
Okay, I'm talking of the number.
Hello.
Dead. Yes, sir. And then access to foreign markets.
Can you come again? I didn't hear the first question.
Okay, I said access to foreign markets.
Okay.
And the number of labor hands you are using.
Okay.
Because not everybody will have access to same labor. And again, in the area of power, what of if you don't have access to band A? What is the alternative that can also be used? Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Owolabi. Let me take it from your last question that if you don't have access to band A, I need to be frank with you, seriously, because if you don't have access to good power, if you don't have access to band A, then you do with whatever you have. If you have like 8 hours light, you make sure that, okay, at that 8 hours light of period that you have, you make very good use of it. All right. So, but it's good because I believe there is a band A in every state. It's good when you want, see, when you want to when you want to locate or start a production or something, it's not a joke. All right, it's something serious. So it's something you have to go out of your way to go and do. You know, it's very serious. When we saw that we needed good power, we had to go and buy land in a place that was not even convenient for us to get, but because we want to do it, all right, we went there. So it's a serious business. You know, you have to be intentional about it. So don't say that because I don't have band here or I don't have, then I will not do it. If you don't have bandwidth, fine. You probably have 10 or 8 hours of light. Then you make use of it. All right. So that is that. I think you said something about turnover. All right. Okay. Now, if you look at it, sawdust briquettes charcoal, the market value right now is $550 per ton. Are we there?
I'm with you, sir.
Okay. So it's $550 per ton. I'm coming. All right. So it's $550 per ton. So a container will be a container is 24 tons. So because of the limited equipment we have right now, we do a container of 24 tons in 6 weeks. All right, we do it in 6 weeks. And at the end of the day, you reckon, I mean, if you do everything, your total turnover for one container will be around 20 million. And to do this, you use about half of that amount to do your production. Okay, we'll get into of it if you come into our access group. Now, the other thing you mentioned is the number of staffs needed. Now, each of these machines, a single person is enough to monitor it. Like from the sieving, it is automatically operated with power. It's just for you to monitor and put some things. You know, to the airflow dryer, from the sieving, it goes directly itself into the airflow dryer. So from the sieving to the airflow dryer, there's no manual labor in that area. So it goes into it, and once it comes out from the airflow dryer, you allow it to cool before. So at the end of the day, you'll be looking at, for the whole production process, if you have one machine each, you'll be looking at 5 staffs. In my own case, we use 6. And the reason we use 6 because we need a standby welder. You know, we need a standby welder that can do, because you know all these things we work with iron and metal, so we need a standby welder to always fix things. That's why we are up to that. So all these questions, when you come to our inner access, you get information. You get all this information. That will not waste a lot of people's time. Okay, so I see. I think I thought I saw somebody raising hand now. Okay. 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 So in the absence of no questions again, I think we'll be closing this meeting as of now, and I'll be expecting you. Okay, somebody said I have a question. Okay, somebody is asking that how do you get buyers? I must tell you that the buyers full everywhere. If you have tons of charcoal today, we'll export it for you, or we can even give you the buyers that are willing to buy. We get tons of requests every day for people. I mean, there are people that needed it, most especially. Okay, I mean, Mr. The last person that asked also asked about the export market. The export market is, in fact, that is what we are concentrating on. You know, because there are a lot of requests from the export market. We will share all this with you. Of course, we'll share the presentation. We'll share it. What is someone can, I think I've discussed that. Okay, who is here? Mr. James. I didn't see your hand, but if you have your question, can you just come up with it?
Hello, Engineer Jubala, did you call on me? Sorry.
Yes,
James, this is James.
I did. Please go ahead.
Oh, okay, thank you for the opportunity.
You're welcome.
And thank you for sharing your knowledge about this bricks charcoal, because this has been my mom's business for decades. Let me say more than 2 decades, and I've noticed that most times she she throws away the sawdust of this charcoal. Some people even come to buy it and then to fill their streets. So I've been thinking ever since I came across this your page, and I've been thinking if this charcoal sawdust is suitable for these bricks that you talked about. And secondly, the question I have is that, coming up with that capital to set up the machine and also acquire a land for your production is quite daunting, especially in this economy that we have today. So, are there rooms for collaboration with you, like in terms of distributorship? Maybe when you produce, and then someone can come to your factory and buy this product and then distribute to the end users. So those are my questions. And if at all the charcoal sawdust can be used, do you understand? What are we going to mix with the charcoal sawdust to make these bricks? And then is there also an opportunity to sell these charcoal sawdust to you guys for production? So those are my questions.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. James. I will attempt to answer your questions. About charcoal dust. Now, I don't know if it seems you didn't join this meeting at the beginning, because I have analyzed the 2 methods we use in briquette production. All right. The first method, which is what we have been doing, where you use your sawdust and rice husk. All right. The second method is where you can use the charcoal dust. Now, a lot of people have been using charcoal dust, and the problem they have been encountering is that it does not burn well, or it takes a lot of time to ignite. All right. Now, in my book, I have given the right steps to do it, which is part of it is that, number one, your charcoal dust cannot be used alone because the powder is too fine. Before charcoal can burn, there must be air gaps inside it. All right. So, but when your raw material is too fine, it is too compacted, there won't be air, so it will not burn. So the recommendation is, the video will be sent to the other. Now, the recommendation is you use it directly you combine it with any other biomass or any other agricultural waste. So you don't use it alone, so that it can put air into it. And of course, another thing, drying is also another issue. And also heating the starch. There's a percentage of the material with starch that you need to follow. There's a ratio that you need to follow. If you don't follow that ratio, your charcoal will be bad. All right, so it will be bad. But the other issue I have with charcoal dust is that it is not sustainable. How many charcoal dust do you want to get that will be able to help you to get a large percentage of a large quantity of product that you can export or do anything with. Charcoal dust is really not sustainable. And you get your charcoal dust from the normal charcoal, all right, which is also not sustainable. And you get that normal charcoal from deforestation, which the government is trying to stop. So that sawdust is not sustainable. All right. The other question you mentioned, if I can, I think my brain has skipped past it. Someone is saying, please, okay.
So I said, is there an opportunity for distributorship?
Oh, yeah.
With you guys.
Remember that now. Of course, there's opportunity of distributorship, but you need to understand what you are getting into. There are a lot of things that comes in, all right, when you become a member of our group. We push you to collaborate. And the reason of we bringing this kind of training is for you to get is for us to get collaborations. We need more people into this cycle. All right, but we need people that are very, very serious about it. So of course, there's collaboration. You can be a distributor. You can sell to other places, but you need to come into our inner cycle. Thank you, Mr. James. Somebody said, please, I don't get the part of a unit of machine. No, it is not a unit of machine. All right, it's a unit is like an assembly of machine. All right, so there are about 4 to 5 machines in what we are saying that you get between 15 to 20 million. And somebody might say, look, I don't have this kind of money, but the most important thing right now is for you to get the knowledge. When you get the knowledge, opportunities come. All right, there's a business, there's a business that opportunities are flying in the air, but if your antennas are not tuned to the right frequency, you cannot get them. So if you are looking for opportunity in this business, it is good you tune your antenna to the right frequency by getting by coming into the inner circle, get your book, get the mentorship, get the consultation, so that anytime you can miss a money misroute or something, if I can use that word, somebody that wants to invest in something, you say you have this knowledge, and so the opportunity is limitless. Okay, so thank you very much for this time. Thank you for listening attentively. Thank you for the questions. And this is the link. I'll post this link on the WhatsApp group. So please, in 48 hours, if I have my 20 people, we shut it down. Even in 24 hours, if you have our 20 people, we shut it down. And this will be the last opportunity to get it. So I'll be waiting to receive you in the mentorship group. And I believe that the sky is our limit as we do this. So thank you very much. Thanks for listening from all over the world that you have been listening to me. And I believe that we'll be able to collaborate to do something good. Thank you very much and good night.